We chose to fly to Europe, rent a car, drive through 5 countries, experience dozens of Christmas markets, and, well, some people told us it just wasn't going to be safe. My name is Josh, and if you've ever wanted to visit the Christmas markets in Europe, then you are definitely in the right place. Today is our second video in our new series. Now, technically, we will be visiting Vienna, Austria today, but it was our shortest stay of the trip, so before I show you that, let's talk a little bit about why you should take a road trip through Europe just like we did. Now, if you need any help at all planning your next destination vacation at no extra cost, make sure you visit our partners over at goldgellgetaways.com. From theme parks to road trips, there are amazing travel agents there who can help you plan your next trip wherever you want to go. So why on earth did we decide to drive for 2 weeks in Europe? You know, like, why not do a river cruise instead? And that was actually the original plan, was to either start or end in Budapest. We did our very first river cruise back in 2022, and it was awesome. Talk about relaxation and enrichment and just like adventure. But what we really wanted from this trip was, more control, flexibility, ultimately time to explore the places that we really wanted to visit and see. And so with that, we flew to Munich and we picked up a rental car and we started off to Budapest. And the next logical question you might be asking is, why the heck would you fly to Munich to drive to Budapest? It's like a 6-hour drive. And really the main reason it came down to was cost. See, originally we planned to fly into Budapest or Munich and do a one-way drive. Start from Munich or Budapest and go one way, reach that opposite city over the course of 2 weeks. But every car rental agency had almost $1,500 as a one-way fee. Basically, we're paying the rental company to move their vehicle from point A to point B. And I get that, it's one less vehicle in their inventory. The second thing was airfare. See, airfare was more expensive to do one-way trips. It's really kind of the way it is with anywhere that you want to go, even here in the US. If you do a one-way compared to round trip, usually round trip will always be cheaper than it will be doing 2 one-ways. And it was as much as $600 extra per person. And that's a lot of money. In my opinion, that would be wasted. It's just left on the table, given to, the rental car company and the airline. And it's less for activities like Glühwein and food. So it made more sense to do something that was round trip. And all that money that we would have forked over for, let's say, the convenience was stuff that we could end up ultimately using for our activities. Now, road tripping does require a lot of planning. It can be difficult to plan at all, and especially getting from one place to another. But ultimately, it gives you the most flexibility. And there's also no set timeline unless you make one. On a river cruise or land tour, usually you'll have, at most 8 to 10 hours in each city, which is a lot of time. But maybe there's something just outside of the city that you want to explore more of, and you just won't be able to do it because of transportation and time schedules. And listen, I know that no matter what, you can't do everything, but it does give you that ability to make the decision for yourself when you do a road trip. And one of the best tools you can use, in my opinion, is Wonderlog. Now, we've talked about this in previous videos. It's totally free to use, and it's not a sponsor or anything like that of this video or any of the other videos that we do. It's just a really great tool that we use as travel planners, and we think you should know about it too. But here's a secret. You're wondering where to start. All you got to do is copy a river cruise or a land tour itinerary. Seriously, it really is a great place to start. The company's going to take you to all of the places, the big cities that most people want to go to. So if you start with that, which is what we do, it gets a general outline, and then you can kind of fill in the details. Like I said, we'll add the big cities that the river tour or the land cruises are going to do, and then add the finer details, right? Wine tasting, a booze cruise, seeing a really unique place in Austria, which is coming up in a future video. You can add all of these right in Wonderlog. Hotels, activities, rest stops, literally anything that you can think of. It's a great application to have. And for me, the best part about it is that between the desktop and the mobile version, you can do all the planning at home on your computer and then take it with you on your device. That's how we do it. And it works out really well, in my opinion. Now, there are some obvious downsides to kind of being your own driver, and that's one of them. You have to get from one place to the next place. And while I don't mind driving, over the course of 2 weeks, it can get long. And sometimes you just wish that you could go to sleep, like you're on a river cruise, and wake up in the next place. Now the other, I think, obvious downside is packing, because you'll have to unpack your bags almost every night. And again, it is a little bit frustrating at times, but I think most important thing to remember is that no matter what trip that you take, there will always be a give and take. Something that will be out of your control in order to have something that is. Setting the proper expectations. Again, this is something else we talked about before your trip, sets the vibe for the entire thing. Ultimately, we chose to road trip because it gave us the ability to see and do what we want, how we wanted, and when we wanted. And driving for 2 weeks was actually really easy on the highways. They're much better maintained than they are here in the US. And the other thing too was that we never really saw any accidents. We saw one out of the entire 2 weeks, and we did a lot of driving. I-4 in Florida literally has 5 accidents every single day. So it's definitely safe, and it gives you the spirit of adventure if that's what you're looking for. To be able to control what you want to control, see what you want to see, and do what you want to do when you want to do it. Europe is a really great and safe place to be. No matter what you might see on the news, take it from our experience. We've had a great time. And with that being said, if you guys have more questions about road tripping, leave them down below. We'll answer them. And without further ado, let's get into a little bit of Vienna. We just got to do the tour of Mozart's apartment. It is the last one in Vienna. It was really interesting. It's actually a very smart marketing move by saying that you get a free guide with your tickets, but the museum actually includes a free guide for you, so it's not like you actually get anything extra. But it was cool. It was a little bit different. You learn about his gambling problem. That was kind of a highlight. Can't record or take any photos in there, so that's why there's no photo or video. But we're now outside of the cathedral. We're going to just walk around a little bit. There's a Christmas market out here, which is kind of cool. Let's go explore little Vienna.
We only have the red.
Is that okay?
I'm fine with red.
Yeah.
What?
I was just looking at
You're
it.
giving it a dirty look.
All right, everybody. We've got our first cup of Glühwein, the official cup of Glühwein in Vienna, Austria. So if you guys don't know, the official language here is German. Got our first boot. And it actually says the market on it, which is really cool. The only thing that I wish that it had, that it doesn't, is the year. That would be really nice.
Yeah.
And I don't see that on there. It's very hot. They only
No,
have...
I was going to say, not all of them have the year on it. There was,
True.
I think it was Heidelberg had the year on it when we were there a couple years ago, and they had the 2021 and 2022.
A little something that's a little bit different here. These cups, €5 deposit. When we were here in 2022 in Europe doing Christmas markets, it was only €2 for deposit.
It just depends on the market.
So we paid $10. We're going to keep the mug, not get the €5 back. Let's try it.
Looks like it's hot.
Oh, it's hot, but it's good.
I can smell it. It smells delicious. Just like leave a tiny bit at the end without any mustard or whatever on it.
But I got a bratwurst. So this was €7.80. €7.80. So I did half with mayo and mustard and the other half plain, so Taylor can try some if you would like it. What's really funny sometimes is, depending on where you get these, either the bratwurst is too long for the bun, or the bun is too big for the bratwurst itself. So
I think that's a baguette, isn't it?
It is a baguette. Yeah. So for in this case, we've got a baguette with the bratwurst.
Well, it looks good though.
I think it's my favorite so far.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And the only reason is,
Well, that's a bratwurst, not
Right.
a sausage.
Right.
So I guess that's different.
Right, and that's probably mostly the reason why, is because this is a more original flavor and spices of a bratwurst and things like that. It's not really a sausage like we've had in, sorry, I haven't slept like the last 2 nights. Where were we just at?
Budapest?
Budapest.
Bratislava.
Not like and Bratislava, yeah. So, but it is really, really good. Highly would recommend. Especially on this baguette. I mean, that's like even better. Amazing. All right, so we've made our way into the state or the National Library here in Vienna, or Austria, I guess you could say. It's the Austrian National Library here in Vienna, and it is like amazing. All of the artwork and all of the books. Incredible. Well, we found another little Christmas market here in Vienna. This is at the Maria Platz. It's located next to the Natural History Museum here in Vienna. And at one of the booths, they actually have some different types of mugs. They're white. Well, I finally got a little house. It's a little Christmas villagey kind of feel. Super cool. I mean,
it's like a little candle house.
Yeah, we saw these when we did the markets back in 2022, and so I passed it up not getting one, and this time I was like, I'm getting it. And I might get one more. That's a small one.
Oh,
but later.
Maicha.
Weiss Glühwein?
Weißer Glühwein? Gerne Spiel.
We've got some cool glasses. It's black with like gold lettering, I think. It's very difficult to see. I got a white Glühwein, and it's good. I will say that the white one that I had earlier today, though, was better than this one. But nonetheless, it's still great. Caitlin found a potato
patty.
A potato patty.
It's very good. Oh, crispy. You can get it with dip. I got it with no dip.
Gotta get close. I can't remember how to pronounce it, but it's a puffer. But it smells so good.
Looks pretty good.
It's like straight out of the fryer, so just be careful. I had to wait an extra minute to get it. Nice and crunchy. That, what'd you say? It's like lamb?
Yeah, it's a lamb sausage.
That's really good.
I think we're going to call it for this little market. I mean, pretty much anywhere where they sell alcohol, which are a few places in here, packed.
Oh yeah.
Really hard to maneuver.
Music bumping in all those booths too.
So we're going to head back to the hotel, grab a cocktail in the lounge, because guess what? It's only 7 o'clock and we don't want to go back and
fall asleep right now.
Fall asleep too early and then wake up later. Cheers to Vienna. On to the hills are alive. Car just drove on that road right there.